Welcome to Kilimo Hai. Today we are at County 021, Murang'a County, at Kangema Sub-County, here at Shamba Dairy. Today we are going to share with you and discuss about the importance of milk, goat milk, and its benefits. Karibu. Maybe you kindly share with us a brief introduction who Helen is and what she does.
Oh, thank you. My name is Helen Campbell from Murang'a County, Kangema Sub-County. The name of the farm is Shamba Dairy. This farm we started in the year 2015 for some reasons here and there. But before then, I was doing the dairy farming in Rongai, and I started with one goat. Then why I went into goat farming, I read somewhere in the internet and a very inspiring story of a certain lady. But initially, I think I'm born a farmer. My family, they do farming, they do agriculture. And I happen to have a challenge of health, and goat milk is a product that is very helpful when it comes to health and nutrition. And after I started doing the dairy goat farming in the year 2009, I was doing it as a passion. But later on, I came to see I can do it as an agribusiness, and that is where I started. I started it by using it myself, and I saw the result and I saw the outcome. And one time I asked myself, how many people out there have health issues looking for the goat milk and they can't find it? Because personally I went into the market looking for it, but I could not find. So I was forced to look for a goat for me to get the product. So I thought about it as an agribusiness, and in the year 2013 I decided to do it as an agribusiness. I started with one goat by then, and after 1 year I was able to have like 20 goats. I was producing like 1 liter, and within a year I was able to produce 20 liters, and all the milk was going to the market. And most of my customers are people with health issues. Somebody leads somewhere and look for the milk, come to me, and then the same customers bring other customers to me. Personally, I am not a doctor. I may not be able to tell it heals this, or it heals this. But most of the people who use the product are the ones who report back what the milk has done. Goat milk has amazing benefits. Personally, I had a problem with my gut, as in the digestion system. I had so much acid. I could not eat this, I could not eat this. Every time I go somewhere, I have to select what to eat. And after taking it for 1 week, the whole problem was cleared. I had a customer who has asthma. It cleared within 3 months. It cleared. I had a customer who had blood pressure. It cleared. So most of the health benefits of the milk, actually, my customers report back to me, and in the process they bring more customers. So I would say with the report that goat milk has beneficial to health. At the same time, we read it in Proverbs 27:27 that you will have food for your household and for your housemaidens. What does that tell us? It tells us the milk is food. It is whole meal food. That is, it has everything. It has the proteins, it has the fats, it has the carbohydrates. So when you take the milk, it's whole meal. And that's why I want to do more and more and more of the goats.
Have you had training to nurture other farmers?
With goat farming, you learn every day, because if you go to the internet, you find there are no much information about dairy goat farming. So every day is a learning day for me, and every day I learn something. With that, I document that. I put it somewhere in my book or something like that. And every time a farmer wants to come and learn about dairy goat farming, I always open doors for them. I've been having training session. People come to see the goats, how the housing is done. Like the housing, I had to do like 4 times for me to have the actual structure that that is good for goat. And with this, after learning that, farmers come to see, and I open door for them to come and learn. Individuals, people who want to learn, they come. I open door for them to come and learn. And even feeds, you work with the feeds every day. You use this type of feeds. What is the production? The following day you use a different feed. What is the productions? Once you see the production, then you're able to come up with the right formula of your feeds. So with the goat farming, every day is a learning day for me.
Maybe kindly share with us how many goats you have on your farm and what is the daily produce of milk you have.
Currently, we are producing about 40 to 45 liters of milk. We had challenges there before. Sometimes you get challenges. You call a vet, he's not available. Maybe a goat dies. But with time, we've been able to take care of that. Currently, I have like 80 goats, but my dream is to have like 200 goats by next year, which I'll be able now to go to the market fully, and at the same time, I try to meet the market.
Kindly share with us the type of breeds you have on your farm.
In the farm, we have Alpines, and Alpines we have 2 types. We have the German Alpine and the British Alpine. We also have Sane, and we have some Toggenburgs.
And what do you feed your goats?
Our feed, we make our own TMR, that is total mix ratio. We use Lucerne hay. We use Burma rods, then we use silage from yellow maize, and we have fodders that we've done in the farm. We have the Cariadia, we have Bracharia grass, and we have Desmodia. So we take all those types of feeds and we mix them, and we do our TMR for our goods.
Okay, maybe kindly share with us like for the capacity you have, what is the required space for you to keep that number of goats that you have at the moment?
Goats require a very small space. A cubicle for one goat, you can do 3 by 5 feet.
Okay.
If you have big space, you can do 4 by 5 feet. So if you can calculate that for the number of goats I have, it means you need a very small space to have a very big number of goats.
Kindly share with us the amount of feed required per goat in one day.
For the dry matter, the maximum one goat can feed is 1.5 kg of dry matter.
Maximum?
Yes.
Kindly share with us the importance of goat milk and maybe its nutritional, actually the nutritional value and maybe some medicinal value that comes with it. Maybe the nutritional value and medicinal value, basically.
If you compare the goat's milk with cow's milk, you'll find the calcium of the goat's milk is very high. You find the digestibility of the goat milk is also very high. It is digested very fast into the system, unlike the cow's milk. And then with the nutritional value that it has, I think that is why it is medicinal. And then if you do some research on goats, the book says the milk is medicinal, and we have proved that because if somebody who has high blood pressure takes the milk, the pressure goes low, then it means it has some value, medicinal value in it. If somebody who is suffering from cancer takes the milk, and then the immunity goes up, then it means it has medicinal value. I may not be able to tell why it is the medicinal value of the milk or the nutritional value of the milk, because you need to take the milk to the lab and do some calculation of what you need to, what is the calcium, what is the protein, what is the what, all that. I may not be able to do that, but all what I can say, and out of experience, I have seen it working to so many people who have health issues.
Have you heard of anyone complaining of allergic reactions to the goat milk, or it is just okay for anyone to take?
I've not had any complaint from anybody from taking the goat milk. In fact, those who have allergies, they have reported back with good results that I had this allergy, it is gone. I had this allergy, especially somebody who has the allergy of asthma. You know, asthma is an allergy, eczema, the skin problems, all those allergies, the milk is able to clear. And this is not from the doctor, it is from the person who is consuming the milk, who comes and say, I had this and this, and it is gone. So most of the benefits, actually, the consumers are the ones who report about the milk.
Okay, thank you so much. And kindly share with us if you have ready market for the milk that you're producing, or you have to look for market for your milk.
Currently, all my milk it's normally taken because we have so many people who have health issues, and the milk is good for those with healthy issues. The milk is also good for small kids. There are most women nowadays, they are career women. They have no time to do the feeding of the babies. So most of them are going for the goat's milk is because it's good for the kids. We have the old people. You know, once we start getting old, we develop problems with our digestion, and the milk is very good for that. It is soothes. So most of the old people, they are also looking for the milk. So for now, I'll say we have the market.
Maybe kindly share with us what it takes for you to run your dairy farm.
One thing, number one, you have to be passionate. Number two, you have to be patient.
Okay.
Number three, you have to be persistent.
Okay.
And you must have that will that this is what I want to do every day, every morning when you wake up. You must feel that this is what I want to do, and this is the will to do it. Without the 3 P's, anything that you're doing, you cannot succeed.
Kindly mention for us some of the challenges that you experience on your farm.
Sometimes, most of the biggest challenge that you have in the farm, sometimes the vet services sometimes can be a challenge. You've called a vet, he's not available, and then maybe the goat is very sick. Sometimes you lose that goat. The other thing is sometimes you are running on a program on the goat about the breeding of the goats. Sometimes you're looking for a back, you can't get the back. The other thing, most likely I would see, is the storage of the milk. If you don't have if you're not able to buy the relevant equipment to store your milk, then you'll have the challenges of your milk getting spoiled.
Are there some diseases that affect goats specifically? Like, mention for us some of the diseases.
The most common dendry disease in goat is CCP. CCP is contagious.
Okay.
It's deadly. It can kill within a very short time. So, and if you're not able or you don't have the know-how whether you have CCP, within a very short time you can lose all your flock. The other disease that is not very good with the goat is the enterotoxemia, and this one you can control it as a farmer. If you are able to introduce the feed gradually, because this is a condition whereby if you have sudden change of feeds or too much green. So as a farmer, if you're able to control your feeds, then you'll have no those challenges. The other challenges that can be there when it comes to goat is the pneumonia, and then we have the mastitis, and then we have even ticks and fleas. If you're not careful, they can kill your goats.
Kindly mention for us some of the prevention methods that you have seen that have been effective on your farm.
One thing that you have to observe hygiene at a very high level. Number two, you must have restrictions, as in, like, you must have foot bath. The person who, if people comes to your farm, they want to see the goat, you must be sure what you are doing, because if you don't have a foot bath, they'll leave the bacteria there, your goat may die. Then you must be self-disciplined, because sometimes money can be at times tempting. You have a dream of having 200 goats. People have come, they want to buy goats, and you want to sell, and you want to have goats. If you don't have self-discipline, you'll be left without flock.
Do you have a certain time where you do the vaccines, or the vaccines are there available?
The vaccines are normally available. all you need to know is when to vaccine and when it's supposed to be done, and how to engage the vet to do that. There are vaccines that are very important every year. There are those that are done twice a year, and there is that are done once in a year. And you must have a table of when those vaccines should be done to your goats.
Okay, before we forget, kindly share with the viewers how many times you milk your goats in a day.
We do a milking twice a day. But sometimes we find ourselves milking even 3 times a day, depending with the goats. Sometimes if the goat just kidded and it has so much milk, you'll be forced to milk it 3 times a day. That way you ease the pressure in the udder.
Just to conclude, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years to come, I should be having my own factory, whereby I'm processing goat's milk, I'm packing, I'm branding, all those that comes in a factory. I should be there in 5 years. Dairy goat farming is very good. It's easier to do. It takes very small space. It's not tedious like you do the cows. And one thing I would say, if you want to do something, not just dairy farming, anything that you want to do, let it come from your heart. Do not do something because Helen is doing it. If you want to do dairy farming, you must be passionate about the goods. You must be patient and you must be persistent. You must push on. Even when things get rough, you must be determined that I want to do this and I'm going to do this and I will make it. And we used to sing something when we were young, I am somebody and that somebody must succeed. So it's the same as what you want to do. If you want to do dairy goat, you will wake up one morning, say, I want to do dairy goat, and this dairy goat farming, it must succeed, and you will have your way.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you. Our guest tonight is Ustadh Al-Modi, who is going to discuss further about the benefits of goat milk on an Islamic perspective. Welcome.
Shukran jazilan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
We've been discussing more about goat's milk with our visit to Murang'a County, where we went and had a visit of Shamba Dairy in Murang'a, where we got different knowledge about goat's milk, her experience, Madam Helen, who shared with us the benefits of goat milk, and we visited the various goats she has on her farm. What is the origin of dairy goats and its rearing?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Salatu salam ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi man wala amma ba'd. First of all, I would like to say that Islam is a heavenly religion which is based on revelation, and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the Prophet of Allah the Almighty. Hadith are the sayings of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam which were revealed to him by Allah the Almighty, and which is commonly known as Sharia. The teachings of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam are the sources of success for the Ummah in this world and the hereafter. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has led the Ummah in the religious affairs. Similarly, he has done so in social affairs too. Economy is one of these social affairs, and Sharia has led us regarding economy very perfectly. Then there are several fields of economy. One of them is agriculture. Agriculture is one of the major fields of economy which provides the public nutrition and garments. Animals are considered very important components of the agriculture economy and are used as the source of meat and milk supply to mankind. Here in agricultural economy perspective, the persuasion of goat rearing is discussed. And in hadith, goats are mentioned as a blessing, as in barakah. For example, in the following hadith, Hani radiallahu ta'ala anha, who happens to be the Prophet's cousin, says that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, do rear goats because it is a blessing, barakah. In another hadith, Hani, daughter of Abu Talib radiallahu ta'ala anha, the Prophet's uncle, says that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam came to my home and said, why don't I find barakah in your house? Then she asked the Prophet ﷺ, which barakah, as in which blessing, don't you find in my house? He said, I don't see any goat in your house. And from this research work, it has been substantiated that its breeding, meat and milk are the sources of that particular blessing, barakah. Moreover, goat is the source of increase in the farm income and is the best source to widen the national economy. And according to the teachings of Islam, it is a rewardable and a sacred profession. Animal rearing was known as the symbol of richness in ancient times, where the economy of people was mostly based on agricultural. Even today, new ways are adapted to improve the agricultural economy. As in the early days, the utility of animals was admitted. And now when the population of the world is increasing, animals are the source of milk and meat supply. Goat is the one sort of halal meat among the pet animals, which meat has low quality of fats and its milk is very much meritorious. In research work, it has been presented that in hadith, goat has been declared as the increasing of blessings, barakah. Moreover, this blessing has the effect on national and individual economy. In addition, meat and milk to provide. Because of these facts, animals rearing is the source of family income and the improvement of national agricultural economy at the same time. It is the source of best meat and milk supply. Similarly, this research work elaborates that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ has declared goat rearing as the better source to increase family income, and thus goat farming may be adapted not only to increase the family income but also to provide the society some sort of good quality meat and milk. In respect of agricultural economy, goat rearing is the best source of income as compared to all types of halal pet animals. Goat rearing is a prophetic profession. The prophets have grazed the goats, and for that reason, it increases the importance of goat rearing. Prophet Musa alayhi salam has grazed goats. Jesus alayhi salam, as in Nabi Isa, has grazed goats. Every prophet, including the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, has grazed the goats, as mentioned in the hadith narrated by Abu Huraira radiyallahu ta'ala anhu that says, "Ma min nabiyyin illa wa qad ra'a al-ghanama." Says the Prophet ﷺ that all the prophets sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have grazed the goats. Then the Sahabas, as in the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, asked, "You too?" He said, "Yes, I used to graze goats for the people of Mecca for some wages that I used to survive with." And this is a clear proof that goat rearing is an ancient practice.
Thank you so much. How wonderful it is to know how wonderful this act of goat rearing, or rather this tradition of goat rearing, has been there for quite some time. It started with the prophets, and now it is us as the prophet's followers to follow up on what he once started. What are the nutritional and health value of goat milk with reference to milk content and immunity boosting against diseases?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First of all, goat milk nutrition could prevent or improve the following diseases. Number one, jaundice for newborn babies. Jaundice is a disease whereby a child is born with yellowish eyes. Number two, heart diseases. Number three, high blood pressure. Number four, migraine and constant headache. Number five, joints and muscle problems for the elderly. Number six, tuberculosis as in TB. Number seven, hepatitis. Number 8, nerve and back pains. Number 9, hormone problems, as in activating hormone levels. Number 10, swollen gums and tooth cracks. Number 11, skin problems. And number 12, sexual performance problems, and so on and so forth. Secondly, goat's milk is rich of protein, enzyme, and consists of anti-aging, anti-arthritis, and anti-cancer components. It contains natural antibodies to fight against gastric, jaundice, asthma, skin problems, heart problem, ulcer, and greatly helps in formation of strong bones and teeth. Adding to that, I would like to set some of the goodness of goat's milk. Number one, goat milk prevents many kinds of allergies, and it helps in building natural body immunization. Number two, it enhances your sense of sensitivity, focus, and memory. Number three, it helps in building a good digestion system. Number four, it toughens your body mass, including bones, muscles, joints, skin, and tissues. Number five, it does not contain complex protein. Number six, it has higher amount of nutrients compared of the cow milk. Number six, it has higher amount of acidic chain of shortened fat. Number seven, it has finer molecule of fat that makes the goat milk easier to digest. Digestion of goat milk takes about 20 minutes compared to cow's milk that will take about 2 hours and so on. Number 8, goat's milk is similar to mother's milk. Goat milk pH are more alkali based compared to cow's milk, which is more acidic. Lastly, there are numerous numbers of conditions and diseases that can be either cured or prevented with drinking goat milk. The conclusion that you will gather after a thorough research on goat milk, you will find out that drinking goat milk will do wonders to your health. Now, there are about 6 genuine reasons why I will prefer goat milk rather than cow milk. First of all, it's easier to digest. As we stated previously, that digestion of goat milk takes about 20 minutes compared to cow's milk that will take about 2 hours. Although it's not completely free of lactose, but the sugar found in cow's milk is different from the lactose content in goat's milk, because the one from goat's milk is lower. But while it might not be a viable option for those with an intolerance to lactose, having less lactose does make the milk easier to digest for those who find that cow's milk upsets their stomach. Another reason that goat's milk is easier on the gut is that the fat globules are smaller. Once it hits your stomach, the protein in goat's milk forms a softer card, helping your body digest it with less irritation than cow's milk. Number 2, it's good for the skin. The fatty acids in goat's milk care for your insiders and outside too. This possesses moisturizing qualities that keep your skin soft, and the levels of vitamin A improves overall skin health and fights acne. Goat's milk also has a similar pH level to humans, meaning that it can be absorbed by the skin with less irritation while keeping bacteria at bay. There is also plenty of lactic, in which will get rid of dead skin cells and brighten your complexion. Number 3, it's high in calcium and other minerals. Though we may long have reached for the cow's milk to try and up our calcium intake, goat milk wins this one with around 33% of your recommended daily allowance of the mineral. And cow's milk, meanwhile, only has 28%. We have iron, magnesium, phosphorus, are better absorbed in goat's milk than cow's milk. Number 4, it boosts healing properties. Goat's milk has been found to have similar healing properties to olive oil, and regular consumption is recommended as a home remedy for anemia, magnesium deficiency, eczema, and acne. It also boosts the regeneration of hemoglobin, which can be beneficial for those with osteoporosis. The high levels of zinc and selenium can also help prevent neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's. Parkinson's disease is similar to the one the famous boxer Muhammad Ali had. Number 5, it contains fewer allergens. Cow's milk contains 20 different allergens. It is the most common allergy among children and can persist into adulthood. This can cause allergic reactions, including inflammation, hives, abdominal cramps, and colic in babies. Goat milk doesn't contain the protein responsible for much of these reactions. Instead, it contains A2-casein, which does not cause inflammation and makes goat's milk the closest milk to human breast milk. Number 6, it's good for your cholesterol. Goat's milk is high in medium chain fatty acids. This is important because these are not stored as body fat and provide an energy boost. They are linked to the prevention of heart diseases and the treatment of many intestinal conditions, while lowering your cholesterol and increasing levels of good cholesterol.
Is there any mention of goat milk and goat rearing in the Quran or books of prophets? What is there as a reference point?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. According to Kitab al-At'ima, from a hadith of Imam Muslim, rahmatullah alayh, it had been clearly stated that the drink that was favored the most of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was goat milk. And it is a sunnah today to drink goat milk as well. Our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam drank goat milk fresh and unprocessed. In another hadith, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, you have to rely on goat, as in taking advantages from goat. That is the meat, fur, skin, and milk. For goats are the vehicle of Jannah. In another hadith, Sayyidina Khalid radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrates that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if 3 goats remain in the home of a person, angels supplicate throughout the night until dawn, supplicating to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to shower His mercy upon the person. This hadith is recorded by Imam Ibn Sa'ad rahmatullah alayhi with a very weak chain. In another hadith, Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrates that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, a goat in a home is a source of 1 blessing. 2 goats are 2 blessings, and 3 goats are 3 blessings, and so on and so forth. This hadith is recorded by Imam Bukhari, rahmatullah alayhi, in his book, Adab al-Mufrad, hadith number 585, with a weak chain that is supported by the following authentic narration. Sayyidatuna Hani, radiallahu ta'ala anha, reports that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told her, keep sheep or goats, for there is certainly blessing, as in barakah, in them. This hadith is in Sunan ibn Majah, hadith number 1304. And Al-Allama Busiri, rahmatullah alayhi, has declared the chain as authentic, sahih. In another hadith, Abdullah bin Umar, radiallahu ta'ala anhu, says, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, goat is the animal of paradise. Anas bin Malik, a very well known companion of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, says, goat rearing blocked 70 doors of poverty in the house. And from these hadiths and sayings, it gives us a reality and a clear picture that goat rearing is an ancient, able, and a blessing profession that was according to Islamic teachings.
That's what we have about goat rearing and its benefits from an Islamic perspective. Viewers, I'd like to appreciate the presence of our Ustad Al-Modi, for his visiting us today and sharing with us what we have about goat rearing from an Islamic perspective. Hope you've learned something about it, both from an Ustad and from an expert. Join me next time for another wonderful episode of Kilimo Hai. I'm your host, Mabruka Abbas. See you next time, same place, same time.